Let's get right into it. Number 7. The I'm always right syndrome. You ever argue with someone who treats every disagreement like it's a Supreme Court case? No matter how wrong they are, they'll twist logic into a balloon animal, and you start questioning reality. Welcome to the psychopath's favorite pastime, mental dominance. Psychopaths thrive on control, and arguments are their playground. The science behind it? Their brains show lower activation in areas tied to error detection. Translation: when you point out they're wrong, their brain just doesn't care. They experience no internal oops signal. Combine that with inflated self-esteem and a total lack of humility, and you've got a human gaslighter with Wi-Fi access. It's not just arrogance, it's tactical. Disagreement gives them a hit of power. Watching you squirm or backtrack is like catnip. They don't want truth, they want victory. And when they win, which they often do, because they argue like lawyers on espresso, they feel a chemical rush that reinforces the behavior. So next time someone insists 2 + 2 = 5 loudly, confidently, and with an unnerving smile, just remember, you're not losing the debate. You're losing to someone whose ego is running a dictatorship. Number 6. The cry less cry for help. Ever notice how some people can go through heartbreak, death, or utter catastrophe and look like they just misplaced a pencil? That flat emotional affect, the inability to feel sadness, might not be strength. It might be a sign your empathy circuits are running on power-saving mode. Psychopaths experience emotions differently, or sometimes, not at all. Their emotional range is like a half-charged Bluetooth speaker, technically working, but never quite hitting the highs or lows. Psychologists call this shallow affect. It's not that they're robots, it's that their feelings are dialed down to 30% volume. You can tell when someone's faking grief, the words are right, but the timing's off. Real sadness has rhythm, awkward pauses, sniffles, that glassy-eyed look of, please make this end. A psychopath will hit all the right beats, but with the precision of an actor reading stage directions. It's unsettling. They can describe sadness like a weather report, but they'll never feel the storm. Basically, while everyone else is crying over the movie's tragic ending, they're just thinking, interesting lighting choice. Number 5. Lies like breathing. For some people, lying is a defense mechanism. For psychopaths, it's Alpha-style brand. They lie the way most people check Instagram compulsively, casually, and with absolutely no moral hangover. This is what psychologists call pathological lying, and it's not about survival, it's about control. Each lie is a thread in a web designed to keep you exactly where they want you, confused, impressed, or indebted. They lie to inflate their image, to dodge accountability, or just because silence feels boring. Neuroscience backs this up. Repeated lying actually reduces the brain's guilt response over time. In psychopaths, that desensitization is already maxed out. Their amygdala, the guilt generator, might as well have gone out for a smoke break. And here's the fun twist. They're good at it. No sweaty palms, no shifty eyes, no voice cracks. Their confidence sells the lie before you even question it. So if you ever catch yourself thinking, wow, they're so convincing, take a second to remember, good liars always sound honest. That's the whole point. Number 4. The Mask of Normalcy. Imagine you're talking to someone who seems too put together, polite, articulate, always saying the right thing, but something feels off, like you're talking to a customer service rep trapped inside a human body. That uncanny vibe, that's the mask at work. Psychopaths are masters of camouflage. They mimic normal behavior like social chameleons, charming when needed, serious when useful, empathetic when strategic. But it's not about connection, it's performance. They study emotions the way actors study scripts, memorizing the right expressions to pass as human. This mask is called the Mask of Sanity, a term coined by psychiatrist Hervey Cleckley back in the 1940s. Behind it is emotional emptiness so deep, you could lose a small car in it. But they wear the mask because it gets results, promotions, relationships, followers, trust. They can quote empathy without feeling it, smile without warmth, compliment without meaning a word. It's not deception for the thrill, it's deception as identity. Basically, you're not dealing with a person, you're dealing with a brand. And the brand's tagline is, I'm just like you. Number 3. Zero chill, underneath the calm. Ever met someone who stays eerily calm in situations where everyone else is losing it? Like, there's a full-blown argument happening, plates are metaphorically, or literally, flying, and they're just sitting there sipping coffee like they're watching a mildly interesting weather forecast? That's not enlightenment, that's emotional frostbite. Psychopaths don't get flustered easily, because their brains don't process stress like ours do. Cortisol, that spicy little hormone that makes your heart race during conflict, barely registers in them. It's part biology, part emotional flatline. They can sit in the middle of chaos and feel nothing, which is impressive until you realize that nothing also applies to empathy, remorse, and fear. Now, this calmness can look like confidence. It's how they bluff their way through interrogations, negotiations, or the whole pretending to be a decent person routine. But underneath that poker face, there's not serenity, there's just a lack of emotional signal altogether. It's like trying to read a novel with all the vowels missing. You can do it, but it takes effort, and it's not the full experience. For psychopaths, emotions are like background noise, something they notice but never feel. So, if someone's unbothered by everything from car crashes to public humiliation, maybe don't call them zen, call them potentially alarming. Number 2, fearless, but not in a cool way. Everyone loves a little bravery, skydiving, horror movies, standing up to your boss, but psychopaths take it to another level. They're not fearless because they're strong, they're fearless because their fear response is broken. When most people face danger, their amygdala lights up like a Christmas tree, heart rate spikes, palms sweat, instincts scream, run. Psychopaths, nothing. Their amygdala is basically on airplane mode. That means they don't just ignore danger, they barely register it. Sounds badass in theory, right? Until you realize it's the same mechanism that makes them do incredibly stupid or dangerous things like provoking fights, committing crimes, or betting their life savings because it felt right. Their lack of fear isn't courage, it's neurological negligence. This is why psychopaths often come off as thrilling or magnetic. They take risks others wouldn't dream of, and that danger can look like confidence. But underneath it all, it's not bravery, it's a chemical absence. Like running toward fire not because you're brave, but because your brain forgot fire burns. Basically, they're the people who'd look at a "do not enter" sign and say, "But what if I did though?" Number 1. The emotional copy-paste. Here's a weird trick psychopaths use. When they can't feel something, they imitate it perfectly. You say you're sad? They tilt their head, soften their voice, and deliver the kind of comforting words you've only seen in movies. It's unsettling, like a chatbot that learned empathy from binge-watching Grey's Anatomy. This ability to mimic emotions is what makes them so believable. They don't need to feel, they just need to observe. They catalog your reactions, tone, posture, timing, then they feed it back like a mirror with great lighting. Researchers call this cognitive empathy, the understanding of emotions without the experience of them. It's empathy from the neck up, useful for manipulation, disastrous for authenticity. So when someone seems a little too perfect at handling your emotions, soothing you, saying the right thing, mirroring your every move, ask yourself, are they connecting or just running emotional software? Because for a psychopath, empathy isn't an emotion, it's a language, and they're fluent liars. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.